here at the doctor's office. I'm not sick or anything, and just my wife made an appointment for me to check a few things. So I'm here. And while I'm here, I want to try a new format. I want to just take the phone out and talk to you guys about kayaking stuff. And the first thing I want to talk about is 3 kayaks you should avoid. Not only because you're gonna have a headache, you're gonna hate yourself, but they may endanger you. And I'm gonna start with the first one, which is with the 133X. I've done a bunch of videos on the kayak. If you use it a certain way, it should be good enough. And supposedly they have made some changes to address some of the issues that I have with the kayak, but I still don't trust it. So you should totally avoid it because the plastic is too thin. Although every single kayak, the plastic is thin. Like Hobie's or any kayak, the plastic is not gonna be too thick because if not, it's gonna weigh 10,000 pounds. But it doesn't have support where it needs to have the support. I just feel like it's not a super safe kayak to be on the water for most people. If you use it just as a paddle kayak, or you use it just with a bow-mounted trolling motor and an amped outdoors lithium battery, and that's it, no more weight, it should be fine. But people like myself and a lot of you guys, we like to push limits. We like to take a lot of weight on a kayak, coolers, and a bunch of stuff, and it's just not safe. It's not safe. So 133X, avoid that. Another kayak, and in general, and this is gonna piss a lot of people off, but I don't feel comfortable buying any Hobie kayak that has been made since COVID times. Like anything from, say, after COVID hit until now, I just feel like those kayaks are a time bomb. For example, the Hobie Outback, the way that it breaks right there where the bungee cables are, and there's too many cases of that kayak breaking. There's too many cases of Hobie kayaks breaking where the seat base is for the pro anglers, and there's reasons for that. I mean, you get a heavy person in there with a heavy seat, and it has like sticks pointing down, eventually it's gonna break. But the problem now with the Hobies is that those kayaks were made with subpar parts, because I think probably every single kayak manufacturer went through the same thing. It's not just Hobie. But the problem with the Hobies is that they're not honoring their warranty as they used to, number one. And number two, I feel like they did it on purpose, using thinner plastics and stuff like that, because I think they thought, you know what, we have a replacement warranty on the whole for like 3 years, so if something breaks, something happens, we're just gonna replace it, we're gonna keep the customer happy. So they went with it, but that's not the case anymore. And I really have concern, like if you sell me a kayak, a Hobie kayak from those years for cheap, I don't want to buy it. If I do buy it, it's to flip it, but then I'll feel bad about myself for doing that. So I highly recommend that if you do buy a Hobie kayak, buy it brand new and buy it from a reputable dealer that is gonna honor the warranty if something happens. But I wouldn't buy used. I wouldn't buy any Hobie kayaks that have been made in the last 3 years, and that's how I feel. I'm telling you my truth, okay? This is not hating on Hobie. I mean, I would buy a brand new Hobie right now if like Hobie comes up with a new kayak and it fits my needs, and it's gonna a lot of you people want to consume that type of content. I will buy it 100%. I will make the videos and all that stuff. But when I do that, I'm buying a new kayak that is gonna have warranty, and I'm probably gonna sell it in a year or two from purchasing it. So I have no problem doing that. The problem that I have is actually buying the used kayak, especially from those years. And the phone is heavy. I have to keep putting my hands. The third kayak that you should totally avoid, and please, if you do care about yourself and people you love, do not get this kayak. And it's not one kayak, it's a kind of kayak. I like to call them Walmart kayaks, and I'm talking about those kayaks that you could buy for $200-300 of places like Walmart. There are sitting side kayaks that are like just horrendous kayaks. Please do not buy those kayaks. They're cheap. They're just problematic, you're gonna hate kayaking, you may flip, you may never kayak again in your life if you start kayaking with one of those things. And I'm not talking about the Pelican kayaks. If you're gonna buy a cheap kayak, like a $300 kayak, you could check some of the Pelicans, but still, you gotta make sure that a kayak fits you. Don't buy a kayak that is 10 feet long by 28 inches wide. You're gonna hate yourself. So please avoid those kayaks, those cheap kayaks that you could buy on Walmart and other places like that, because it's not good. So I hope you like this video. If you want me to cover other type of content like this, other topics, comment below, let me know. I'll film it, shoot it, upload it. Thank you. See ya.